Well, ladies and gentlemen, Twisha's postmortem report has raised several disturbing questions in this case. Doctors have confirmed antemortem hanging by ligature, indicating that the hanging took place before death. The report also points to multiple injuries. Investigators say a gymnastic ring rope was allegedly used for the hanging, while the autopsy found two parallel ligature marks on the neck. Another crucial point flagged in the report is that the ligature material itself was not presented during the suicide examination process. Huge lapse. These findings are now expected to intensify scrutiny over the circumstances surrounding Twisha's death as investigators piece together a sequence of events. But it's amid all of this that the police have now formally appealed to Twisha's family to take custody of her body, citing concerns over decomposition. In a communication to the family, officials said the body is currently stored at -4 degrees Celsius, while a temperature of -80 degrees is required to prevent decomposition over a prolonged period. Police have also stated that such a facility is not available at AIIMS Bhopal. The letter adds that the body has been lying in the mortuary for an extended duration, increasing the chances of decomposition. Twisha's family has raised several allegations of lapses. One major point under scrutiny is that the nylon belt used as a noose was reportedly not submitted during the postmortem examination, which of course has now been proved in the report as well. The belt was not compared with the ligature marks found on Twisha's body during the autopsy process. Investigators later handed over the nylon belt to the forensic team, but only after the postmortem had already been conducted. Further discrepancies have emerged in the FIR itself, with two different ages reportedly mentioned for Twisha. There's also the mismatch between Twisha's actual height and the details recorded in the FIR. These inconsistencies are now adding to the growing controversy surrounding the handling of the case and the investigation process. In fact, the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Mohan Yadav, has only gone on to assure the family, after a whole lot of pressure, that the CBI will probe this case. There's this assurance that's been given by Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister. This comes after 8 days of continual protests outside the Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister's office. I'm being joined at this point by A.K. Jain, former DGP for Uttar Pradesh, Rekha Agarwal, who's an advocate with Supreme Court and a social activist. I'm also being joined by Professor Dinesh Rao, who's a forensic expert. Thank you very much, all three of you, for joining me. A.K. Jain, my first question to you, sir. What does one really make out of this? Look at the appeal by the police to the family. This is coming after 8 days. And what is the police saying? The police is saying the body is being preserved at -8 degrees Celsius, -4 degrees Celsius, and what is required is -80 degrees Celsius. Did the family not have the right to know this? Who was supposed to tell the family this 8 days on? All they have been wanting is a second post-mortem. Why is that so hard to get?
I was reading just now in television channels that CM Madhya Pradesh has assured that the decision shall be taken by a court of law regarding second postmortem. I don't know what's the hitch in getting a second postmortem done at AIIMS Delhi if they don't want to get it done at AIIMS Bhopal, because mishandling has been there in this case right from the beginning. I don't know the reasons. Either the mother is very influential or family is influential. I don't know, but
But you are saying that it's clear. You are saying, as a former DGP of Uttar Pradesh, that mishandling is clear. You don't have an iota of doubt about that.
Yes, mishandling is there in the case. That's why it is now being handed over to CBI. But it's too late. Anyway, second postmortem should be got done if family is demanding it. And as you say that so many inconsistencies have cropped up. So it should be got done as early as possible. before a body gets decomposed. 8 days, naturally, these facilities are not available at our mortuaries, and body will naturally, it must be already decomposed to some extent. But second postmortem can be got done. It should be got done only for the if only for the satisfaction of the family, and some more facts might come out. Forensic experts should also be associated with it, in my opinion, and proper investigation should take place now. If And I think CBI will do a nice job. CBI will conduct investigation without being under pressure, and it's the right step being taken by CM of Madhya Pradesh, but a bit too late, in my opinion.
In fact, let me just get in Professor Dinesh Rao at this point. Professor, we just heard the former DGP speak. We heard AK Jain speak. Now, here's the question that everybody seems to be asking. What does this appeal by the police really mean? What does it mean for 8 days if the body is supposed to be preserved at -80, it's being done at -4? What does this really mean? And what does it mean that the family doesn't know about this, and the family has been protesting day in and day out for 8 days? Whether they are on the right or wrong, that's a legal process. But the right to know that the body is getting decomposed, it's not being preserved the way it needs to, and that AIIMS Bhopal does not have that facility, that's shocking to know after so many days. Professor Dinesh Rao. All right, I think we have some technical issues at this point. Rekha Agarwal, how do you look at this?
I do think that, even a dead body has got the right of dignity. That is a fundamental right that every citizen of the country has. And the parents of Twisha also have the fundamental right to a good life, a proper life in the manner that they want, which includes the right to, have a family, have the happiness of a family. Now, if their daughter has passed away in such suspicious circumstances, it is a violation of their fundamental rights. It is a violation of the dignity of the corpse. And I do think that AIIMS Bhopal, I do not know. I'm quite shocked to hear that. I would have thought that AIIMS Bhopal would probably as sophisticated in its technology and upkeep like AIIMS Delhi. But if AIIMS Bhopal has now come up with this plea that we do not have the necessary infrastructure. Now, is this kind of infrastructure, the lack of proper technique, is that the procedure followed for every other dead body which is there in the mortuary, or is it there only now that problem has come up for the first time only where Twisha's corpse is concerned? So it seems from the way I've read the media reports that this is the standard feature over there, the standard lack of technology in AIIMS Bhopal. And I think that the hospital, as far as the hospital is concerned, they are right in their own way by requesting the family members to take over the body for cremation because the body is decomposing, as Mr. Jain also said right now. And if there is further decomposition of the body, then obviously the second postmortem cannot take place. So I think that it is absolutely right, a violation of human rights, I would say over here, first of all, a violation of human rights of Twisha and violation of human rights of the family also. And even after death, dignity has to be maintained, proper burial has to be there. And if the family is delaying the burial, the cremation part, they know best why they want to delay it and why they are insisting upon a second postmortem. But if they have, even an iota suspicion that their daughter has passed away in a manner which was not legally acceptable, and even if it is a case of abetment to suicide, and as far as the nylon rope, as you yourself pointed out right now, that the nylon rope and the ligature marks have not been tallied, whether the ligature marks on her neck are because of the nylon gymnastic rope. So obviously there has been a big lapse in the investigation, leading to the postmortem, and proper assistance should have been given to the postmortem team, which were conducting the postmortem of the body. So it seems that there's a lot which is left unanswered and a lot which is leading to a lot of dissatisfaction in the family, which needs to be addressed.
Right. In fact, AK Jain, speak to us and explain to us the fact that if the nylon rope was handed over to the investigating team to the forensic team after the post-mortem, how big a lapse is that and how critical is that? And if the two have not been tallied in terms of the nylon gymnastic rope that was used as a noose and the ligature marks, if they have not been tallied, how big a lapse or a contradiction really is that?
Nylon rope should have been handed over. To the team of doctors to examine how thick is the ligature mark, where is the ligature mark on the neck, and does it tally or not? Can it be caused with that nylon rope or some other rope was used? Because that's very important evidence, and it should have been handed over. I don't know the reason why it was concealed and it was not sent, because sending it after a few days doesn't serve any purpose. And there are two parallel ligature marks. It makes there is a lot of confusion because of this. I have not seen exactly the post-mortem report,
Sure.
but any forensic expert, any person with experience will be able to tell whether it matches or not. And it's very important. Yeah.
In fact,
Yeah.
we've got Professor Dinesh Rao back with us at this point, and we were just talking this, we were talking with A.K. Jain, just how big a lapse is it if the nylon rope, the gymnastic ring rope that was used as a noose was not handed over to the forensic team before the post-mortem and was in fact handed over to the team after the post-mortem, and the tally between the ligature marks as well as this noose has not been made. How significant or how much of a source of contradictions or lapses is this? Could you explain that to us?
No, definitely it is not that a major lapse, I can tell you, but definitely it's a lapse because that adds up to the break in the investigation timeline. So that is one. And second thing is, if the ligature material, what we do in examination during the postmortem examination, when we try to compare the ligature mark and the ligature material, that is number one. That is it the cross section of the ligature material and the dimension of the injuries, that is the imprint aberrations, what we call, it matches or not? That is number one. And second thing is, it can withstand the weight of the body, the particular material, and that is number two. And number three is to corroborate, that is, this is the material which has been used. We usually tape that particular injury so that the fibers which has been coming out of that particular ligature material should match with that of the present over the neck. So this actually, that will substantiate that this ligature material was used, and that's how the investigation takes place. So if that material has not been proved and later it has been proved, because that ligature material do contain the blood and the cells, especially the epithelial cells of the particular neck, that has to be present there to confirm that this particular material was indeed used. Or else later, if any other material has been produced, definitely that will not corroborate and that will be detrimental to the case. So this
Right.
is what is the most important aspect in relation to the ligature material is concerned.
Right. In fact, Rekha
And I was
Agarwal,
talking about this temperature and preservation of the body earlier. I think there was
Professor
a
Dinesh, I would like to come back to that, but I think there seems to be a technical issue again. I'll request my team to fix that as well. All right, I think he's back, is what we are being told. Professor Dinesh Rao is back with us. All right, Professor Dinesh, make your point. You were talking about the temperature differences of -4
Yes, the
vis-a-vis
temperature.
-80.
See, what is first? I would like to make it clear that we preserve the dead bodies between the range of 2 to 4 degrees centigrade, not -4. 2 to 4 degrees centigrade. It is the temperature in which the vitals, especially the cell structure and the compatibility, will all be preserved. That is the reason. Below 0 degrees centigrade, there will be a destruction, and that is the reason we don't preserve below -degree centigrade. So it is 2 to 4 degrees centigrade is the standard temperature under which the dead body is preserved. And secondly is the -80 degrees which you've been pointing out. Definitely it is not in AIMS. Even I am also from AIMS. We don't have it in the -80 degree, and
No, but
we have no reason
this is
to
not
preserve
something
that
that I'm
body for a
pointing
long
out.
time.
This is not something I'm pointing out. This is something that the police has said, that they do not have enough.
I understand. I understand. So that is what I would like to meet the scientific clarification. So -80 degree is for years together preservation to keep the cells and tissues vital, and that preservation we don't have it even in our aims. That is number one. And second thing is for preservation of 10 days or 15 days or 20 days, cold storage is definitely, that is 2 to 4 degrees centigrade is sufficient. And this in this condition, because the post-mortem is already over, the blood has been drained. Once the blood is out of the body, even with that particular temperature, body can be preserved for so long,
So
for
why
quite a
would
time. So 1 to 2 weeks.
so AK Jain, then why would the police write this kind of a letter to the parents? Then this amounts for an undue pressure on the parents to take back the body, so that this whole demand for a second postmortem is just snuffed out. If the forensic expert is saying that, listen, this is not required, you don't require a -80, what is there is more than enough considering the circumstances that they are, it just seems to be a very undue pressure being mounted by the police.
I also agree with you. I also agree with you. What Professor Rao has said, he has made things absolutely clear. And I don't think police should pressurize even the family. They are well-bred people. They know the consequences that a decomposition must have set in. 8 days have already passed. So family is also aware of it. They are literate people. And let them take a decision. If they are insistent for a second postmortem, I think there so many second postmortems take place in the country. Why not in this case? It's of national importance. It is grabbing headlines all over the place. So it should be. The demand should be conceded to. I don't know why CM MP said that court of law shall take a call on this. It should have been. It's an administrative decision. Should have been taken locally.
The Chief Minister has assured of a CBI probe. That's also not something that the family really asked, though they kept questioning about the impartiality of the probe. Yes. So a CBI probe may just come as a huge assurance to the family at this point. But all they have been simply asking at this is for a second postmortem, and that seems very strange to have not been given, with no one really opposing it, at least in the public fore. Very quickly at this point, AK Jain, possibly my last question to you. When we are talking about the CCTV as well, the footage seems to throw out more contradictions. It's about how the body was found around 8 o'clock, 7:40, and then you have the version from the family that they had taken the body. They reached the hospital by little over 10 o'clock in the night. And then you have the hospital saying that the body was actually brought to them post 12 o'clock. A lot of contradictions. FIR seems to have lapses in terms of the age that was mentioned in it, and in terms of the height of the woman. How does this happen? Is this usual?
No, it is not usual. It's being done, in my opinion. I give you frank opinion that because Samarth's mother has been district judge and is now in a consumer court or something heading it. So judiciary is also playing its role, and anticipatory bail should not have been given. It's a clear-cut case of dowry death. Section 80 is attracted of BNS, yes. And she should not have been given anticipatory bail without getting into details. Now, because of the pressure throughout the country, Samarth was not given bail, anticipatory bail. It was rejected, and he's on the run. We should not forget that the family is well acquainted with all these tactics, and she has been a judge herself. He is a lawyer, said to be a promising lawyer. So
who's on the run? Who's on the run? The husband is on the run.
Yes, he's on the run.
And the mother, the judge, the former judge, has actually come out and said he will come and present himself, but he has the right to protect his liberty. She's made the statement very publicly before the media.
Yes, I have read about it. And because he's on the run, he is proving his guilt. His impression has been formed throughout the country that he is on the run because of, otherwise, if it's a natural death, it is not a natural death.
It's not. That's been anyways proved.
5 months after marriage, any unnatural death is considered a dowry death. In normal cases, the Section 80 would have been slapped, and they would have been taken into custody. Right. Preventive custody at times, we do it.
Right.
so that the family members of the girl they don't level allegations against the police.
Right.
So let us see what further decisions are taken in the matter.
Right. We're totally out of time. Rekha Agarwal, I think you wanted to make a comment. Very quick one, please.
I just wanted to add to what Mr. Jain said, that obviously Samar's behavior doesn't inspire confidence. No doubt his mother, is making the legal point that he's a right to protect his liberty. But as they say, justice should not only be done, it should appear to be done. So here is Samar, a young lawyer. He knows the law himself, and his wife has passed away just 5 months after the marriage. He should be absolutely broken, devastated. But on the contrary, he's just there to save his life. He's not there for his wife's cremation. He's not there to support his family. He's not there to support his own mother. He's not there to support his in-laws. So
All right.
obviously, he's given a very wrong signal in society, and that makes the point even more shocking. That this obviously is nothing but a dowry there.
Okay. Thank you very much, all three of you, A.K. Jain, Rekha Agarwal and Professor Dinesh Rao. Thank you so much for joining us.